So far, we have looked at the Ten Commandments and noted that they are a gift from God, that they're insight into divine reality, that they're helpful advice. I also argued that they were positive and liberating. So if that's the case, what are we supposed to do with them? How are we supposed to take some next steps? I wanna argue a couple things today. First of all, I want to suggest that you learn them, that you know what the Ten Commandments are. So in 2006, Stephen Colbert interviewed a congressman from Georgia. This was on the Colbert Report. He interviewed a congressman from Georgia who wanted the Ten Commandments, the monument to be moved into the State House. And this is like watching a train wreck happening in slow motion. You know what's going to happen. And I knew that he was going to ask this guy to name the Ten Commandments. And the guy, he came up with 7 commandments. Only 3 of the 7 that he came up with. So he doesn't get 10, he gets 7. But only 3 of the 7 that he names are actual commandments. So look, do yourself a favor and learn what they are. Many people say, I believe in the 10 Commandments, and they can't mention 10 of them. So we divide the 10 Commandments into 2 tablets. This is a way to talk about them. There are 4 that govern our relationship with God, right? That God should be first, and then we're to have no idols, and we're to honor the name of the Lord, and then we're to keep the Sabbath. And then we have the second tablet, which is actually now 6 commandments. The first one, sort of a swing commandment, is that we are to honor our father and our mother, not murder, don't commit adultery, don't steal, don't lie, and don't covet. So you do well it would be wise to memorize the 10 Commandments, to know what they are. Jesus, in the Sermon on the Mount, preaches on the 10 Commandments. So the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew 5, 6, and 7, is basically his commentary, his interpretation, his exploration, expansion on the 10 Commandments. And so your life is going to work better. My life is going to work better if we take our cues not from, social influencers or TikTok videos or anything else, but that we meditate on the law. David talks about this in the Psalms. Psalm 19, fascinating psalm that talks about celebrating creation, and then it without any transition, it goes into a celebration of the law, because again, the law is tied to reality and creation and all these things. And if you want to understand how to live well in this world, you do well to reflect on the law. They are a light unto our feet, a lamp unto our path. We do well to love the things that are true and real, and to rightly order our lives and our loves. Our life and our loves and our fears. So I want to also suggest that in addition to learning what they are, that you work hard to obey them. I am going to be teaching a class on C.S. Lewis this year, and so I've been doing a lot of reading up on Lewis. And his book, The Abolition of Man, has become much more important in the last 25 years. I just haven't been paying attention to Lewis. The explosion of Lewis scholarship that's been going on in the last 25 years since I last taught a class on Lewis. But The Abolition of Man, one of the things that gets said in The Abolition of Man, these lectures that he gave, is that ancient man used to try to modify their life in conformance with reality and the law. And today we are trying to do the opposite. We're trying to force the world and reality to conform to our will. And so I just want to say, look, we don't break God's laws ultimately. God's laws break us. We break ourselves against God's laws. It is harder, it is firmer, it is going to last. We're going to be the ones that's going to adapt and get hurt. So I want to encourage you to study them, and I want to encourage you to obey them. And just understand this. I reference this. The Westminster Confession of Faith notes that there are three purposes of the law. One is to create a society that has a better chance of lasting. A second is to restrain evil. The third is so that we can have a mirror against which we can see our own behavior. So trying to keep the law. One of the advantages of trying to keep the law, especially as the law gets developed and interpreted and expanded by Jesus in the Sermon on the Mount, and we understand that it's not just our external actions, but it's our heart that is really in play here, really being measured here. Part of the advantage of understanding and trying to obey the Ten Commandments is we realize how broken we are, how sinful we are, how we do not have the ability to do that, and how we need a Savior, not just the law. Have a good day.